A research and publication system operates through visible reputation signals. Institutions track publications through centralized dashboards and citation reports. Departments monitor output counts during quarterly research review meetings. Grant committees examine publication lists during funding allocation cycles. Hiring panels read candidate profiles through indexed publication databases. Promotion committees review citation metrics and journal placement tiers. The rule is simple. Visibility creates institutional reputation. Public exposure becomes the reward signal. Reputation damage becomes the penalty signal. Publication dashboards update institutional rankings. Citation reports circulate during national evaluation cycles. Signals accumulate slowly. Decisions happen faster. Feedback arrives later. Information is noisy. A department chair opens the quarterly publication report. One column lists accepted papers. Another column shows citation accumulation over time. The system rewards visible publications, but signal accuracy varies. Citation impact takes years to stabilize. Visibility appears immediately. A researcher faces a micro decision. Submit a technically rigorous paper requiring another year of validation, or release a partial analysis ready for immediate submission. The dashboard counts accepted papers, not unresolved questions. The researcher submits the partial analysis. The decision is rational. The publication appears on the institutional dashboard. Visibility increases. Reputation signals improve. The research group meeting changes tone. Discussion shifts toward journal acceptance probabilities. Experimental uncertainty receives less agenda time. Another researcher observes the dashboard update. A similar micro-decision appears. Delay validation or secure a publication slot. Submission timing becomes the strategic variable. Signal manipulation begins. More papers enter the system. Citation lag remains invisible. Departments report increasing productivity. Publication counts rise across the institutional network. Operational research capacity grows slower. A measurable distortion appears. Reported output increases faster than replication success rates. Citation accumulation fails to keep pace. Grant reviewers compare publication lists. The numbers look strong. Operational verification remains incomplete. A coordination breakdown appears. University administrators rely on dashboard statistics. Research teams rely on experimental timelines. Administrators request higher publication visibility before the next national evaluation. Research teams request more time for validation cycles. The timelines diverge. Administrative reporting cycles accelerate. Laboratory work cannot match the cadence. Dashboards dominate the meeting. Metric logic takes control. The first lock-in moment occurs. Publication counts become the primary reference point. Hiring committees prioritize candidates with visible publication density. Replication depth becomes harder to observe in candidate files. Hiring criteria shift quietly. Publication velocity becomes a proxy for research capability. More researchers respond to the signal. Submission strategies converge across departments. The collective pattern expands. Shorter research cycles, more incremental papers, more visible outputs. A reputational bubble forms. Publication counts increase across institutions. Citation impact lags behind. Operational research capacity remains constrained by laboratory throughput. Reports display rising performance. Bench capacity grows slowly. Backlogs appear in experimental verification pipelines. Replication requests accumulate. Journal acceptance rates fluctuate. Institutional dashboards still show rising output. Visibility expands nationally. Universities compare publication rankings. Departments compete for signal strength. Reported productivity continues rising. Operational throughput stabilizes. The distortion widens. The system adapts around the signal. Review meetings reference publication charts first. Laboratory timelines become secondary discussion points. Reputation indicators dominate institutional reports. The research system reorganizes around visibility signals. Local rational decisions accumulate. Signal optimization spreads. The reputational bubble stabilizes. Fragile stability emerges. Visibility remains high. Verification capacity remains limited. The system holds. For now. The publication dashboard continues expanding across institutional reports. More departments adopt the same reporting template. Monthly research summaries now begin with publication counts. Hiring committees open candidate profiles through publication index screens. Candidate evaluation sheets include a visible publication density column. A threshold quietly appears. Minimum publication counts for shortlist eligibility. The hiring spreadsheet sorts candidates automatically. Profiles with fewer publications drop below the review line. Citation impact still evolves slowly, but publication visibility updates immediately. Hiring panels rely on the visible column. Operational research depth becomes harder to observe. Publication velocity becomes a hiring proxy. The incentive logic enters recruitment. Another internal document circulates, a departmental research playbook. It outlines recommended submission pacing across academic calendars. Early results should become conference papers. Extended analysis may follow later as journal submissions. The playbook spreads. Research teams adjust planning templates. Laboratory meetings include submission timelines alongside experiment milestones. Publication calendars appear on shared whiteboards. Short planning cycles dominate. Replication windows shrink. More manuscripts move through the pipeline. Visibility increases again. Scaling amplification begins. Publication dashboards process hundreds of new entries across institutions. Oversight capacity does not expand at the same rate. Peer review queues lengthen. Editorial decisions accelerate under volume pressure. Review cycles shorten. Citation verification remains slow. Time horizon mismatch grows. Visibility updates this quarter. Impact signals stabilize years later. Departments make decisions today. Future verification remains unresolved. The research backlog expands. Replication attempts accumulate in laboratory schedules. Verification timelines stretch beyond reporting cycles. The dashboard still shows rising productivity. Reported capacity increases. Operational capacity moves slowly. A measurable gap persists. Submission numbers climb. Confirmed research findings increase gradually. Information asymmetry expands. Administrators observe aggregated publication charts. Research teams observe unfinished experimental pipelines. Two views of the same system, both internally consistent. The reporting meeting repeats. Dashboards projected on a conference room screen. Publication graphs slope upward. Replication status remains absent from the chart. The signal remains clean. The underlying pipeline remains crowded. One moment of uncertainty appears. Perhaps the publication surge reflects genuine research acceleration, or perhaps the reporting signal hides unfinished validation work. The system continues operating. No immediate correction occurs. Cross-institution comparisons intensify. Universities circulate national ranking summaries. Publication counts drive institutional visibility. Departments compete through signal expansion. Scaling amplification continues. The research playbook evolves. Submission pacing becomes standard training for new researchers. Internal seminars discuss journal positioning strategies. Manuscript segmentation techniques spread. Large research projects divide into multiple publication units. More outputs appear. Operational verification remains unchanged. Oversight bandwidth stretches thin. Editorial boards process increasing manuscript volumes. Peer reviewers receive more requests. Verification time compresses further. Information flows unevenly. Dashboards update quickly. Experimental replication moves slowly. The gap widens. Cost redistribution begins. Verification work shifts deeper into laboratory schedules. Research teams absorb the additional workload. Administrative reports remain stable. Publication indicators continue rising. Institutional reputation remains intact. Short-term visibility improves. Long-term validation delays accumulate quietly. Replication pipelines lengthen. Backlogs form behind laboratory doors. Submission cycles continue accelerating. Publication density expands across the institutional network. The system adapts again. Hiring committees refine their spreadsheets. Publication velocity becomes a screening filter. Replication depth rarely appears in candidate files. Hiring norms stabilize around visible output. The incentive logic completes its spread. Research planning, hiring criteria, departmental reporting, submission playbooks. Each element reinforces the others. The system moves forward. Faster publications, stable dashboards, hidden backlog. The structure holds. For now, the dashboard continues updating every quarter. Publication counts remain visible across institutional reports. Hiring spreadsheets continue sorting candidates by publication density. Department meetings still begin with publication charts. Replication backlogs remain outside the dashboard. Verification pipelines stretch quietly behind laboratory doors. The reputational bubble holds. Not because anyone designed it, But because every decision inside the system responds to the same signals, visibility remains the reward. Reputation risk remains the penalty. Researchers submit earlier. Departments report higher output. Hiring committees select visible profiles. Playbooks continue recommending submission pacing. Dashboards keep measuring publication counts. Each action is locally rational. Each action follows the incentives already in place. The system stabilizes around the signal. Even as operational verification moves slower, no one actor controls the outcome. No meeting announces the transition. No rule formally changes. Yet the structure of behavior has shifted because the